Welcome to Castle Nafria, the Gothic castle located in West Revendreth. Here, you and a select few other adventurers have been selected to siege the castle and put an end to Sire de Nafrias once and for all. As we enter the castle, you will see a dark, Gothic atmosphere and a hallway filled with gargoyles. After you defeat the gargoyles, you finally take care of the first obstacle of this castle, Shriekwing. Let's get into how to deal with this pest, shall we? Phase 1 is essentially a big game of hokey pokey. The tanks will position Shriekwing by one of the 4 pillars in the room. When Shriekwing is positioned by the pillar, the ranged DPS will stand on the opposite side of the selected pillar and the melee DPS will stand on the opposite side of the tanks. In intervals, Shriekwing will let off an ear-splitting shriek, which is an ability that does nasty damage to all players in line of sight. To avoid this, just simply stand on the opposite side of the pillar from Shriekwing, preventing him from seeing you. During the fight, Shriekwing will also cast an ability called Echolocation on a few players. When this ability is casted, the player selected will get a debuff that leaves a pool dealing insane damage under them. To counter this, what do you think you should do? A. Run out of the raid as to not deal damage to your party members. B. Run out of the raid as to not deal damage to your party members. C. Run out of the raid as to not deal damage to your party members. D. Stay with the raid and wipe the entire party. Now, for the tanks, Shriekwing will bite you and give you a stacking dot that increases your damage taken and reduces your healing received. When you get this dot, make sure to tell the other tanks so that he or she can taunt so you don't die. And for the last ability, the blind swipe, Shriekwing will target a random melee player, and he will lock in that location, and after a few seconds, he will cast a cleave ability that does heavy damage. To counter this, just simply, yep, you guessed it, step out of the way. Phase 2 is really just a game of awkward Wii Sports bowling. During this phase, Shriekwing becomes immune to all damage before eventually returning to Phase 1. In Phase 2, Shriekwing will cast an ability called Murder Prey. That puts a red ring under him, which instantly kills any players that go inside of it. So all you will have to do is practice social distancing and stay at least 13 yards away. He will also cast an ability called Echoing Sonar, which puts slow-moving rings on the floor that stuns any players that touches it for 4 seconds and deals some damage. You will have to avoid these rings, as during this phase he will still cast Ear-Splitting Shriek. And that's about it for Phase 2 and Phase 1. You think you're ready to fight Shriekwing? Well, alright, pop all your consumables and get ready for and he is already dead. Yeah, Shriekwing is essentially just an overtuned trash mob.